Hello, welcome back to another episode of CaseyBuilds Live. Today we are going to be building something much more simple than the light set that we did in the last episode. Today we're building the Porg from Star Wars. It is just a cute little guy, and once you finish building the set, he is still adorable, and there's some cute little stuff that he does. That I'll show you guys when we're all done. So it should be a fun build today. Looks like, or not looks like, but rather Lex has started preparing a tray for us, like she has started to do now, very thoughtfully. So through the magic of television, bag one is already sorted, and we can just start building. So let's jump right in. Again, thank you all for showing up. This one should be a relatively quick build today, an hour and a half or so, I think, if I was going to be guessing. This is a small to medium sized set. I think it's about 800 pieces, so 811 pieces. So, yeah, not too long of a build. Yeah, this one is it'll be like the other kind of smaller. I know we did DO. That one was more technicky. This one is going to be kind of a combination of some internal structure that will be all more like Technic pieces to facilitate the moving parts. And then some modeling, kind of like that, like the helmet was when we built that one. Man, that seems so long ago now. The Stormtrooper helmet. That one, this one will have kind of a nice 3D rounded shape to it, and they do a pretty good job with that. Obviously, this one is one that I have built this one before. The bags are already open. But yeah, we'll be able to see the way they do the good. I don't know really what the sculpting. I guess maybe sculpting with Lego, is that maybe the right term to use, as opposed to say like the car Technic. Those sorts of sets, it's more about building functional gearing sorts of things, whereas these are more about getting the shape, like the detailed shape and the nice curves and things like that down. So I'm gonna say these are more sculpting sorts of sets, as opposed to the other. And yeah, definitely way less stressful than that lighting set was last time, which looks amazing at night, by the way. So it is very pretty in the dark. But if you were watching, I'm sure you could tell that really took it out of me. It was not the nice therapeutic Lego build that I usually do. It was a high stress build. Anyway, you may note that we're celebrating the Pride Month today. Starting the celebration today, we have both a Star Wars Pride shirt as well as the the new Pride watch band. So for whatever that's worth. Well, good afternoon, Cordy. Cordy had mentioned earlier that he was going to be building a set at the same time I am here. I think he's one of our viewers out there who enjoys building while he watches, which is certainly fine in my book. I can't remember. Did you mention which set it is that you're building right now? Can't remember. Oh, I think you said the Haunted Mansion. Not Haunted Mansion, Haunted House. Haunted Mansion is what I'd wished the Haunted House would have been. But no, it is not a Disney set. It is purely a haunted house. Oh, looks like I have both parents in the chat right now. Hello to both of you. Yeah, so as you can see, this set already has more interesting internal technical stuff going on. And I can't remember, there's something that, I don't know if it's a switch on the back, but pretty much when we're done, you can get him to like flap his arms and move his mouth and stuff, and it's all connected up through the internal structure of this thing. So you can see that we're getting all of that stuff in place right now. Yes. Cool. Okay, so Cordy is working on that haunted house, which is definitely a very cool looking set that I can't wait to build. I'm excited. Also did my share of stream viewing this morning. My cousin's son, which I guess is still technically my cousin, he once removed. First cousin once removed, I think is the right way to say that. Anyway, he graduated from high school this morning, so I watched the live stream of that. And it had been so long since I'd seen him. I would say at least maybe 10 years or so. He did not look like the same kid from the last time I saw him. So that was exciting. Okay, we're getting a somewhat complicated structure going on here. How does this all fit together? This is going to go through here. This is on the bottom. All right. There we go. So you can see this right here will pump this up at the top. So I think that's what goes in the mouth, and then these are for flapping the wings here in the middle. So just adding some fun interactivity to the set. inside. One thing that I spoke about with some friends last night was there's a really cool documentary on YouTube that is about the original, like the origins of Lego, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? It talks about the creator and the way it all started and everything, and I want to say it was 18 minutes long. I don't know why 18 sticks in my head, but I think it was about 18 minutes long. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's really an interesting video if you haven't seen it, and if you are a Lego enthusiast. But we had a online virtual 40th birthday party for Chris, who's frequently on here watching the stream. Might even be out there right now. So it was his 40th birthday this week, and so happy birthday, Chris. And his husband put together some pub-style trivia, and we had a trivia night last night, which was a ton of fun. And there were a couple of Lego-themed trivia questions, and now I'm trying to remember what they were, so I could ask you guys and see if you know.
One of them was what does Lego stand for? Like, what does it mean?
Yeah, one of them was about what the name Lego actually means. Uh-oh, so it's not lining up here. Or is it? No, it isn't. What's wrong? Oh, no, that wasn't wrong. That was right. Everything's fine. Yeah, so if you know the, I guess the Danish translation or something to that effect, Lego actually means play well.
And in Latin it means to build.
That's right, yes. And in Latin, it actually, the creator didn't know this when he made it. Play well was, I mean, that was the goal. But when he had named it, he didn't know that the Latin translation of it was actually, what is it? Build? To build, or no, not to build. It was something to do with building, but that wasn't it. It was something that actually worked really well as well. So.
Put together.
Oh, put together. There we go. Okay, so now you can see right there the tail of the Porg will be responsible for making its little mouth chirp. What else was... Oh, that was another one. A statistic about out of every million Lego pieces made, so in the Lego factory, for every million pieces, we had to guess at how many of them did not pass Lego quality standards. So, like, how many of them do they have to throw out? How many belly flops are there? And it was a very, very impressive. Are you sure that's the number? Okay. Yeah, it was 18 pieces per million. Aren't good. I think that's pretty remarkable. There we go. Okay. We're building the inside of the little mouth here. So this will be the front of the mouth. It's got a couple little teeth, and that'll be the tongue. Kind of hard to see it still. We'll keep going, and it'll be more obvious soon. Also, I hear that my Aunt Nancy is out watching today. So, hello, Aunt Nancy. Thanks for joining the stream. And putting these on the wrong side. Shoot. Well, maybe we'll end up having to put them on that side later, so I'm not going to take them out yet. There we go. Right now we're putting in a bunch of these tiny, kind of little half blue little pieces here, which is going to give us something on this side that we can build off of. So we're using all these Technic pieces to build the skeleton of this thing, and then we'll actually be able to attach pieces to these sides to give it the body that it needs. So you don't normally. Usually you're in a fairly Technic mode or fairly more standard Lego brick mode. So one of the things that's interesting to see is how different sets have you go back and forth between the two. Ah, good. Yeah, I didn't have to take those out after all. That's weird. So a few steps ago, when I put these pieces in the wrong order, I was already working on something oriented this way. And then before putting in the pieces I just put in, it told us to flip it over and put them in on this side. Which is, I don't understand that, because we're already holding it here, so why have us flip it an extra time if we're just going to come back and do this anyway, when the ordering doesn't matter at all? That seems silly to me. Anyway, we're obviously putting these all around this whole thing, because this is the inner tube of the body, the digestive tract, I suppose, is where that would be. Kind of gross, but that's what it would be, more or less. And okay. So we got that little guy right there. And the last thing we'll be doing with this bag here is putting together the feet, so that hopefully that'll stand up a little bit better. And if there's something that you guys have started to notice from these viewings, it's keeping an eye out for those 2X's. There is a 2X on this one, so we're going to just build 2 of them right off the bat so we don't have to go back pages. Because going back means you failed. Even when the instructions tell you to do so. Okay, these are going to be some cute little webbed foot claw things. I'll hold them up for you guys as soon as I have them done, because they're pretty adorable. Sort of looks like a penguin. a little bit. Two. Going back means you're learning. I don't know if I agree with that one. Going back means you missed something. It means you should have learned. But I suppose that could be an optimistic justification. All right. There we go. All right. So there's 2, 1. Ooh. There we go. There. 2 cute little feet. Ooh. 2 little web feet. And Alexa's Johnny on the spot here. Okay, these go in down here. And they actually sort of more or less lock into place even though they're at a different angle. I suppose they're close to locking into place. There's actually some stuff on the bottom of this thing that keeps it from moving too much. So that's that. Bag 1 done. On to number 2 here. Section 2. Section 2 appears to be, it'll be the back side of this thing.
The back side of water.
One thing that's really nice about having the pieces laid out like this is not only is it easier to find them, but it means that when I'm prepping for a step, I can quickly and easily grab the pieces I need as opposed to hunting for them like I was in the first streams.
34 times.
Yes, the before times. So it makes it less likely that I'll miss a piece, since I'm grabbing all of the ones as opposed to just sort of building it as I go. Two. In addition to Chris's birthday, it was also Miles' birthday this past week. Miles was one of my ring bearers. I got married last year. He's a young Lego enthusiast. Him and his brother Kent, both. So he got a new Lego set for his birthday. There we go. things we just had to navigate here was these pieces. Thanks to the sorting, it was easy to tell the difference between that piece and that piece. And as you can see here, one of them is a little bit taller. When you see them next to each other like that, it's really easy to tell the difference. And when you're looking in the instructions, you don't always notice it at first, and then sometimes it's one of those pieces you have to go back and swap out if you're not paying attention. But one of the things also that's easy to notice, if you're looking in the instructions and you got the eagle eye going, the shorter one, this one is 2 full bricks high. It has a full stud on the top of it, whereas the 3 brick high one actually has a hollow hold stud at the top. So that's one of those things that if you know to look for it, you notice it, and it kind of helps you make sure not do the wrong thing. This was also a big purchase week for new sets. Was that this week or was that last weekend? Can't remember. There's a new Lamborghini set coming out. Maybe that was last weekend. Came out on June 1st. What day is today? This is the 6th. The 1st would be Monday. Yeah, okay, Monday. So, since our last build, this set came out, and it's going to be one of those hyper technical car sets like the Porsche was. I am super excited to get that set. Those car sets are just about the best thing, in my opinion. Oh, here's another thing. I didn't realize this, but they have both the light gray and the dark gray bits. So, hasn't been a problem. Everything it's called for so far has been the darker gray. And that one's definitely not too tough to see the difference between. Sometimes, actually, on the... Sometimes when you're looking at the older instructions, I don't know if it's just because of how they scan them, but the color is weird in some of these old PDFs when you download them, and it actually can be a little bit harder to see the difference sometimes. But I would say anything from the last 5 years, the color is usually pretty accurate. This is actually going to be pretty cute here. Everything about this set is cute. The stupid little Porg is so adorable. But we're going to have some, using these to create some tail feathers. Which make a lot more sense once they are on the subject. And as we do, there's lots of these little cheese wedges used for greebling that we're doing all over the back here to give it kind of the messy, sloped, mottled back. shoot. Oh, that's the wrong color. Which means the right color is probably in a different bag somewhere.
Really?
I have a light gray instead of a dark gray thing.
The triangle piece?
Yeah. Lex to the rescue. Sure we'll need to fix that at some point later on in the build here, but that could have definitely been a mistake either in taking the thing apart or perhaps the first time I built it. And then the extra piece went into that bag instead of... Anyway, might have been an old switcheroo. We can definitely fix that problem. One of the things that I enjoy seeing is something like with this set here is how good Lego is at being able to create something that seems random and irregular with all of these pieces, which are very much organized and not irregular. Well, you can see on the back of this, we're starting to kind of have a feathered randomness going on here. We are getting close to being done with bag number 2 already as well. Pretty much just have a few more pieces to go here. And we'll be a third of the way through the bags. No, there's 6 bags.
Oh, right.
And that's that. Okay, this little guy goes right there. Thank you. So, 2:30, go for a half an hour, third of the way through. Yeah, this should be an easy hour and a half. I just made a mess. Okay, so this one, before we get over to the next bag, this one's going to attach to a lot of those blue bits that we put on the back. We just need to thread this through here and then be careful that we line it up correctly, which is why they have a profile shot right there. Right there. So when you're looking at it, you can make sure everything lines up the way it's supposed to. I think we got it. There we go. Oops. So now you can see in the back this little area, the tail here, moves the mouth on the front. Me, me, me. Right there. Alright, now we're going to build the front of this little guy. Give him a belly. Cute little belly. But this little guy kind of makes you wonder what other creatures from the Star Wars movies they could make into Lego sets. I think an Ewok would be kind of fun. Anyone else think of any fun creatures from Star Wars? Would be fun to make with Lego. Greedo.
Just his head.
He would be a good one of those busts to make. Jabba. Just a gross slug.
There was tons to do. What about Sarlacc pit?
There is a Sarlacc pit set, actually.
Oh, is it because it has the barge?
Somewhere over there. No, it's actually the Sarlacc. Just the Sarlacc. There is a barge set as well. There's too many sets. That's not true. There's just enough.
Baby Yoda.
Yes, there will be a tiny baby Yoda coming out soon. I want to say in September. Which apparently I will not be able to build fast enough before it is built in my house.
You don't get to have all the fun.
Okay. So we're getting more shaping and giving the faux feather look on the front of this guy. Most of the time after I finish these sets, I'll leave them up for a week or so and then take them back apart. But a few of these sets, like the Disney Castle, that's pretty much a permanent fixture. But then Dio and the other droids also have R2-D2 and BB-8. Those guys always stay out. And then there's also a Yoda set that's similar in size to these guys. And I put this piece in the wrong spot. There we go. And those ones are pretty much always out on my entertainment center. And this is one of the ones that I've been waiting to put together that'll pretty much live out there for most of the time. The R2 set is actually such a fun technical set to put together. It's one of the sets that I've taken apart and put back together the most, but it actually spends probably more time together than it does apart, because I'll take it apart and then pretty quickly just want to put it right back together again. So Maybe one of these one of these days I'll take it apart and then I'll do it on a build here. It's one of the older Star Wars sets that I have. Yeah. By just making lots and lots of layers, you give this a roundness to it. You can see it ends up actually having a pretty impressively rounded shape to it, given the blocky nature of Lego. And we're just a step away from being done with this stage. And then we'll be on to bag 4. Quick, easy build today. Needed to have a palette cleanser after that last lighting kit. Thank you. And once again, we have this nice flat area here that will attach to the front of this thing with all those little blue bits that we put on there earlier. So we have the blocky structure inside with all of these nice smooth curved and modeled surfaces on the outside. So it's kind of a neat set, the way it mixes those two things. Okay, and now we're going to build. I don't think these are quite the wings yet. I think these are just the sides of the dude.
No, the wings are in this bag, I think.
I'm told that the wings are in the next bag. So this, we're just going to give him his love handles. More smooth areas. second piece that I put in the wrong spot during this. I must be tired. Let's see here. Sometimes the easiest way to take a piece off is actually to put another piece on top of it so you can grab it a little bit better. The easiest way is to use the orange Lego remover tool.
You need one?
No. But mine is over there. It would have been slower to go get it, or even if Lex would have brought it over. See a nice, more very satisfying stacked curves happening here. I keep disorienting myself when I do that. There we go. This one really is just a nice, easy build to fly through. There we go. Very simple side with a hole left in the middle here for the wing to stick through once we get to that point. But this one fits in just perfectly, obviously. But it snaps right in there next to this other one, and there's just the right amount of space for that to get right in there. And what's kind of fun is once this is all done, without actually taking it apart, you end up having areas like this over here where everything just comes together and you kind of can't really, from the outside, you can't tell how this is all being held together in the middle. So it ends up looking really cool when it's done. I know I keep telling you that. We're getting there. We're almost done. We're more than halfway through. Trying to make up for that last light set build. For some reason I thought that one might go really quickly. And that ended up going way, way longer than I thought it was going to. So this one is a redemption set. Okay, and I put the next couple steps in the, no, not yet. where I put the piece in the wrong spot last time on the mirror side there. And this time I'm going to say that means I learned this time. Because there was actually something to learn, and I did it right the second time after doing it wrong the first time. Hard time holding on to these little guys today. I really must be tired. That's got to be what it is. This might be a nice Saturday to take a nap once we're done with the build here. There. On there. There. Cordy, was that hook 'em for me learning, or was the hook 'em for in support of a nap? There we go. Porg. Nah, Porg is not an acronym. It was just the adorable little creatures that in the third set of the trilogy, when we're just gonna jump right into some Star Wars spoilers here. If you haven't seen them all at this point, I can't help you. But when Rey goes and finds Luke on that island, all these little Porg creatures are the ones that are just hopping around, and they're just sort of there. They don't really serve any sort of role in the movie other than just being a cute little creature that's there. And that's that. Got one more done. You can see that still everything in the middle is wired up. Oh, look at that. That's a good looking tray. And so we're ready for wings to move and the mouth to move. So we will get our wings now. Like Clarence. Clarence? Clarence in A Beautiful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, right. It's a Beautiful Life is...
It's a Beautiful Mind.
No, what's the one with Adrian? There's one... The guy that when he won the award, he ran across all the seats. That's A Beautiful Life, right? Beautiful. Life is Beautiful. Just out of reach with all of them.
I got you.
Anyway, yes. We're going to give our Porg its wings like Clarence on It's a Wonderful Life. The mouth is a lot like Beaker. It does kind of have just a little kind of a thing. Definitely looks like that. Okay. And there's a lot of these bits on this one, which we use for the feathering, which obviously makes sense since we're building wings. It's funny, this can be used for something like this, where it's meant to look like feathers, but I think the last set that I had these on was maybe one of the Batman sets, and it was used to be metal, like jagged metal pieces. So it's funny how this piece, which just kind of looks like, well, what it looks like, it can either look like a feather or it can look like jagged metal, and two things that are completely wildly different from each other in reality, and the exact same piece can represent either one of them. Sort of funny. Oh no. Oh, they're alternating. How helpful. What a great piece layout. So thoughtful. You've never built a Lego set with a piece sorter before, I highly recommend it.
You have to say that, I feed you.
That lines up like that. Got a fat little bird.
Bird.
Is it in the movie, or was that on a t-shirt where you see the little Porg creatures freaking out because Chewie's eating one?
Oh, that's in the movie.
Yeah.
He's having a chicken dinner right in front of their face.
In the movie, presumably off screen, Chewie
Let's kill the Porg.
Chewie roasts a Porg, and then at one point you see him eating it.
Well, he's about to eat it, and then they're all staring at him.
It's pretty darn funny. Kind of like a little Cornish game hen. So we're not quite onto the wings yet. We're still on the sides of the back here. So wings incoming.
Cordy just asked me how much I charge this sword.
There. Aside from the feet, which keep getting all out of whack on me, we've got just a fat little dude. Do the Porgs fly in the movie? I don't think so. They really are kind of penguin-y.
Yeah, they are.
I don't remember seeing them flying. They're just sort of hopping around. Penguins or pigeons. Oh, Christopher Bailey and Grace Chin. I'm gonna say that this Porg is gonna be, yeah, it's about life size, I would think. Maybe a baby Porg. I think they're probably a little bit bigger than this, but if it was a baby Porg, it would be life size, I think. Good question. I don't know if you're just joining the stream there, Chris, but gave you a happy birthday shout out for your 40th. So, once again, second shout out, happy birthday for being old years old. I mean 40. Loxer. You're welcome, Tyson. Does Tyson have a favorite Lego set? Is this the Death Star episode? I don't think this is gonna... This is not yet the Death Star episode. No. No, I think this weekend we're gonna do... I honestly don't know what set we're doing tomorrow. Well, it'll be another easier one here. But I think we might be getting close to being Death Star time, I think. Come to think of it. Yeah, we're getting close to being in Death Star range. Okay, there's one wing done.
That's no moon.
And let's see if we can get that to attach correctly. This needs to fit through here. There we go. Actually, I'm going to hold off to show you the flapping until we build the wing on the other side too. We're going to do the whole flapping experience at once. There. Tyson's into Lego's competitor Mega Constructs at the moment because they make Pokemon. Mega Constructs. I wonder if Mega Constructs are related to just Constructs, because when I was young, they had something called Constructs, and my brother and I had a ton of those. And they were toys. They were building toys, but they were very different from Lego. They were more like kind of like beams with little connectors. So you would use a connector and then attach a bunch of beams to it, and you would build much bigger things with the constructs instead of having all these tiny little bricks. It was more. It was kind of like almost a cross between an Erector set and Lego. It would almost be like if Lego made an Erector set, because they were plastic pieces that snapped together, but you built more structure-y sorts of things. So I don't know if that's what if Mega Constructs are different than just the old Constructs that I had, but But that's cool. I'm going to have to look that up once the stream's over. Curious. Yeah, I did. I had an erector set, and I enjoyed it, but I definitely didn't play with it as much as I played with Lego. The first thing I think of when I think of an erector set is the movie The Sandlot, when they try to build their ball retrieval device. And if you haven't seen The Sandlot, you should go out and watch The Sandlot. Great movie for children of all ages. It really is a family-friendly movie. I completely recommend it. Yeah, we had a box of Lincoln Logs too. Basically, you get it out and you build a Lincoln Log cabin.
This place you got your TV, was it video only?
Yeah. Oh, I think I missed a brick in here. Oh, I did. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts unless I fix it. Naturally, it needs to go up in the armpit of this other one. How did I miss that? Ah, rats. Nope. Well, who's got a great idea on how to fix that? Let's just take the wing apart slightly. Oh, that was more than slightly, but oh well. We're doing Porg surgery now. Come on. Come on out. Yes, learning once again. Ugh. It's still nowhere near. Oh no. Well, perhaps I spoke too soon. I was gonna say this is nowhere near as bad as that last lighting set. It's nowhere nearly as bad as that lighting set was. Porg's anatomy. Yeah, we're doing very invasive Porg surgery right now. Okay. What's funny is when I was putting this on the first time, I was thinking about the day that I have to go take it apart. It's actually, this is one of the few things that sometimes when you put them together in a way that you look at and you know, well, this is going to be a booger to take back apart. So this piece, which has a flat end right here, has to go into this area over here. And once it's in there, there's no way, you can't grab it. It's flush. So the only way to take it apart is to sort of take everything apart to take it off, like I just had to do. And I was thinking that when I put it together the first time, thinking, boy, I'm glad I don't have to do that for a while. And here we are. Anyway, problem solved, fixed, easy peasy. And that one's in the right spot because I didn't miss it that time. There we go. Now we have 2 wings. Man, all this talk of wings. Are we going to 7 Stars for dinner tonight?
We weren't going to, but we can.
I want wings. Okay, so now we have our tail back here, and you can see that when you use the tail, it flaps the wings. Flap, 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 flap. Oh no. He lost a talon. Okay. That's done, and I think that was bag 5.
This is awesome.
And it was. This is bag 6. Here we go. Just about done. So, an hour and 15 in? Yeah. Hour and a half. Pretty darn close, I think. You're actually going to get to see this thing about halfway through bag 5. It gets really weird looking. And I'll show you what I mean when we get there. I believe... Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chris built this one recently. And I had mentioned that. And I do believe I got a text from him when he got to that point. And I didn't really tell him too much more other than that. And when he got there, he knew exactly what I was talking about. So I will show you guys when we get there. Chris also has one of the most impressive memories of anyone I know. Chris, do you remember any more of the fun facts that were Lego related from trivia last night?
I think that was it.
We covered the 18 pieces out of every million, which is just super, super impressive. And that Lego means play well in Danish and to build in Latin. Yep, there it is. By the way, Grace, you might want to look up Lego Mario Brothers, because there might be something that Tyson would be interested in coming out in a few months. They're going to be doing some Nintendo-themed Mario Brothers Lego sets that are going to not just be building, but something that you can play with. It's going to be like a game. Looks like it could be pretty neat. Christopher, what? This 15-second feed delay is killing me. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of you people on this feed right now that know each other. taught me What If by Randall Munro. There's a chapter on how many Lego pieces need to build a bridge from New York to UK. Oh, that's cool. Well, Chris, how many Lego pieces would it take to build a bridge from New York to the UK? Don't leave us hanging. We're all on the edges of our seats. Alright, and every once in a while, I don't trust what I'm looking at. So if you look at step number 251 here, it shows two little arrow pieces, or two little arrows pointing to put this right here, which is offset right here, as opposed to right here in the middle. And I'm going to cheat and look at head one. Okay, I should have trusted it. I did not trust it, but I should have. Anyway, Grace and Tyson, just so you know, you can even pre-order those Mario sets now on the Lego website. I think there might be 3 of them. There's one base set and 2 expansions. I know I already have mine pre-ordered. Not that we really planned that far ahead here on CaseyBuilds, but that could very well be a set that we do at that point in time if we're all still stuck in home every weekend. Okay, we're building something interesting here. I don't know what this piece is. Oh, this is the head. It says one... Is that one super bajillion? I don't know that many number of zeros. I can tell you that there are 15 zeros in a quadrillion, though. Okay. You know, Grace, Seema has told me the same thing. Oops. Well, I've done something wrong. Let's fix it. Pieces were supposed to stack on top of each other, not be next to each other. Crisis averted. $350 million minimum at a cost of $2.1 trillion to build a Lego bridge. That sounds reasonable. Although, if you do the normal metric of assuming it's about 10 cents a piece, yeah, sorry, I am just dropping pieces all over the place. Yeah, no operating heavy machinery or holding any babies. This piece to me, I always call it, I don't know what the Lego builders call it, but whenever I see one, I always call it the home plate piece. It's a little elongated, but for obvious reasons. It even has a bevel on the edge, so it's not just a flat piece, but it really does have a home platiness to it. Yeah, so if it's 350 million pieces, I would think that that's about $35 million in pieces. So is that $35 million in pieces and then $2 trillion in labor to put them together? I'm really curious about the breakdown of building this bridge at this point. Oh. Also, we're getting close to where this is going to get creepy, and I can't wait to show you guys. It's very disturbing. Uh-oh. Nope, not that piece. I need these pieces. There we go. Yeah. So we're working on the face here. And we have nice ruffled, well, broken ruffled feathers now. Going down the back. So that looks pretty neat. Feathered back of its head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Ah, jeez. One of these days, I've been meaning to do this, and it's just, I obviously haven't gotten to it yet, but I've been meaning to put up surveys so that people can vote on what sets they want to see coming up. I know Bo James wants to see the Death Star, so you don't need to worry about reminding me about that. Cordy, I know you would love to see a vintage set. And I still haven't built the pirate ship yet. That's 2,500 pieces, so that would be a 500, 5 hour, 2 hour, 3. It's probably a 6 hour build. The pirate ship is about a 6 hour build, so that's easily a 3-part over the weekend kind of thing. I don't know. I'm trying to find sets that you don't need to watch all weekend long. Even though it seems like those are some of the most requested ones at this point. Anyway, Courtney had actually had an idea to put these surveys up. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But one of these days, I might have that out there, and then people could actually tell me what they want to see, which would be kind of nice. Oh. Those are some impressive statistics. 19 pieces per foot. I wonder what kind of pieces we're talking about here. If you want to see some really cool Lego building bridge work, I know I've mentioned this multiple times, but Lego Masters, they built bridges on one of the episodes, and it was cool. It's very neat seeing them try to max out how much weight they were capable of holding. So that part before where there was a piece that was offset to one side and I had to flip forward to make sure that it was telling me to do it in the right spot. This this set is offside as well, and so they dovetail together here to give it a nice random-esque looking back of the head. Okay, we're about to get real creepy. So again, we have the front, the eyes here without the eyes. We're going to build some eyes begrudgingly. Oops. Toothpick bridge. I think we did that in college, actually. No, we did popsicle stick bridges in... No. Toothpicks. Yeah, I remember doing something like that at some point in time. Well, we've got a floating head, bottom half, top half of the skull with eyes, and it's just creepy. Creepy, creepy, creepy. Can't remember if it gets worse than this. Chris, I've definitely done some things like that. It's not... Head is not meant to be seen this way. This attaches to here. And that goes into there. And we're going to use this as a tool to get that there. This is another one of those things where it's going to be a booger to take out. But it's got a mohawk on either side. Mohawk. And most of what we have left here now is just giving it more feathers. Make it look more feathered. Doing more organized randomness. Which is the best kind of randomness. good. My one of my professors in college named Joe King. Yes, his name was Joking. If you were to do a Google search for Joe King toothpicks, he has made some very impressive toothpick structures, which sounds wrong when you hear somebody say very impressive toothpick structure. But we had them hanging in our one of our engineering buildings, and they were something. Okay, let's see if I can give this guy his sideburns. Why is that not attaching? Because his eyeball's in the way. His freaky little eyeballs. There.
Pokey little eyeball?
Hmm?
I was making a monster joke.
Pokey little eyeball. I don't remember what else we do here after the sideburn. Oh yeah, we have to create a little informational display. One, two, three. Those. It is. It's almost done. We're just doing more. Just lots of. It really does create a very good feathered look, and it's they do a good job with the modeling on these. Okay. This guy has to go over on this side. Opposite. There we go. Yeah, so we still need to create the little stand up there, but this guy's done. You can see he's got a cute little tail down there, and when you pull on the tail, I don't know what sound porgs make, but just a cute little fella. Set him off to the side while we make the base. This one doesn't actually need a base. Some of these things that we build need a base. That the sound a porg makes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Some of these little guys definitely need a base to be able to stand in. This one is just going to sit off to the side with some information about porgs. And because we've already done it, the sticker's already applied, which was great news. What does the porg say? Yak, 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 yak. Okay. All right, so its home planet is the. This is to satisfy the request for more information about porgs. So its home planet is ahch-to. Its habitat is the coastal cliffs. Attributes are webbed feet, waterproof feathers, natural curiosity. Its diet is small fish, and its color variants are gray, white, brown, and orange. Oh, hello, Taco Cub. The Porg makes a Porg face. It sure does. Ooh, are there any Legos that come with sounds? Great question. No. No, I don't think so. The closest thing you have to a sound would just be mechanical clicking, or if like the motor's running. You obviously have the motors, but as far as I know, there aren't any sets that are built to intentionally create anything that you would think of as either musical or with a specific targeted noise in mind. I don't think. Any other... Either Chris or Cordy, can you think of any other sets that actually have noise associated with them? I can't. There is a Piano Idea set, yes. I don't know if it's actually going to play music, though. But that will be a very cool set. Also, here's an adorable little minifig-sized Porg to go on the display down here. Cute little fella. Anyway, there you go. All done. And it makes a pork face, as Taco Cub said. Yay. That's that. All done. Ready to go on the bookshelf downstairs. Cute little fella. Alright. So once again, thank you guys for... Where's my correct? F2. Needed to go to F2. Thank you guys for coming and watching another CaseyBuilds episode. These are always so fun. Yeah, I'm not sure what set we're building tomorrow yet. I was actually trying to think of a Pride-themed set to do, and I couldn't come up with anything yet. So I don't know if I'll have any great ideas in that sense, but I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock, with another set to build. And thank you, everyone, for showing up. It's always fun having you guys in the comments. And enjoy the rest of your Saturday. See y'all later.